Hello. Tolu, what is happening to us? I don't know what happened now. It just kicked me out. It told me it ended. Yeah. So I think it's like probably when I minimize it or something. So I'll just stay on. Yeah, I'm trying to get a hang of it. It's like when you minimize it, then it goes off. So try to see if you can share the link. These are people that have been coming. They've even been trying. this is this is something we would have done. We would have done before now. Yeah, but it's fine. It's the first time. I don't really. It's a learning. It's a learning curve now. You always have to be willing to understand. It's surprising to me that it doesn't work on laptop. That's that's very surprising. You know. So I hope they are still willing to come and listen to us. So, hello everyone. In case if you'll be catching up on this later, we're really excited to be here. My name is Dr. Amaka Ifeduba, and I'm here with the incredible public speaking coach Tolu Ekwe. Today is actually my first time of going live on YouTube, so don't mind don't mind the unseriousness because we are actually figuring out the technology, right? We are trying to figure it out, and so far this is like the fourth time. Is it the fourth live or the fifth live that it keeps canceling?
We are so lively today. It's amazing.
We are resilient now. That's the thing. We keep coming back. So yeah.
Yes,
Hey, Annie,
absolutely.
is that Annie? Oh,
Hi.
somebody say, oh yeah, my Biron
Oh,
says,
thank you, Ivy. Yay.
we are doing it. We are not
Amazing,
giving
amazing
up. Oh, we
so
are not
much.
giving up. We are figuring out our technology. So it's so cool that we can be here. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam.
Salam
Senu, senu, senu.
alaikum.
It's good to
Welcome.
see you talk. Another YouTuber, FF120, says hi. Hello to you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Oh, we have 20 people here. Wow, really?
Amazing.
That's a lot of people. If you are here, please say hello. Tell us where you are joining from. Just let us know. My name is Dr. Amaka Ifeduba. With me here is Tolu Ekwe. We are just going to get started, right, on our conversation.
Right.
Sorry, we are coming in a bit late. We had a bit of technical glitches, so we had to keep restarting the live over and over. So we are not giving up. So I'm going to just pass it on to Tolu to introduce herself, and then we can really get started. And we wouldn't be here for too long, right? But I'm happy that we're able to get it to work. Really, I'm really excited. So Tolu, please introduce yourself. Let's jump right in. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Amaka. It's amazing how much resilience you have when you have to have it, right? My name is Tolu Ekwe, and I am a public speaker and a public speaking coach, among many other things. Okay, for the purpose of this particular live, I'm going to stop there with my introduction. But I am delighted to be here, and my passion is to help people to find their voices. You know, many people have experiences, all of us have experiences, different perspectives of life. We've gone through things, we've seen them through the eyes that are unique to us. And nobody better than you to tell your story. Nobody else
Right.
can tell your story for you. You know, so when I am able to help someone to find their voice, build confidence, and deliver their story with their own flavor, it is such a beautiful experience for me and for them. And so that's something I'm very passionate about. I'm
Thank you
honored
so
and
much.
happy to be
Yeah. Thank you, Tolu. Thank you for agreeing to come on this adventure with me. You know, I was very honest with you. I was like, okay, this is the first time I'm going live on YouTube. I go live using streaming platforms that I'm very
right.
comfortable with. And, you know, I've been
Yeah.
doing that for a while, even though it streams to YouTube, but I have not directly gone live from YouTube. And just I love being curious. I love experimenting. I was like, yeah, let me try it
Right.
and see what happens. And now I'm beginning to figure out it's a lot different from the streaming platforms. It's a bit finicky, but I'm really glad we made it work and we are having the conversation that we planned to have. So today we're just going to really talk about personal branding and public speaking. And it's supposed to be a Q&A, right? I'm just concerned that some of the people we've invited have the wrong link now. So if they're even trying to get in, they may not be able to. So for the people that are here, oh, Lisa is here. Hello. People that are here, please help us share the live. Help us invite other people to come in, because the link, we had to change the link several times. So at this point, people will have several links that they are trying to get into, but it's all good. It's all good. At least we got it figured out. So Tolu, I guess we should just start talking a little bit about public speaking. You've been in public speaking for a while. I guess the big question that people would often ask is what are some of those why did you become very passionate about public speaking? Why is it so important that people would be intentional about building the skill? Because I've come to realize that most times people expect that it should just happen. People just expect that somehow I should just know how to do it. And then until it gets to a point where they begin to lose opportunities for not having those skills. So I feel like that's a great place to start the conversation. But before I let you have it, let me still say this is a Q&A session. So if you have questions about public speaking, personal branding, we'll be happy to address that maybe in the next 30 minutes or so. And we'll close the live and know that we tried.
We tried.
We really, really tried. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Amaka.
Mm-hmm.
How did I get started on this journey and why am I so passionate about it? It's a
Mm-hmm.
great question. Because, first of all, understand that my background is in pharmacy.
Right.
And we, so you go to school, you get trained, you understand that this is where you're going, this is what your path is about.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere along the line, something happened to me. And for me, it was grief. But it wasn't just grief. It wasn't just the fact that I lost my mom. It was
Mm-hmm.
the fact that that happened 2 days after I had my second baby.
Wow.
So picture this, you have a toddler, then
Mm-hmm.
you have a newborn baby,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the loss of your mother.
Wow.
And you have to somehow navigate that space,
Mm-hmm.
And so what did I do? I did what made sense to me. I shut down the grief because I can't deal. I still have to deal with these children. I still have to face what's there. And I didn't really have time to process it. And then over time, you find that what that does is because you get so used to locking down on that part of your life, you don't even realize it's under lockdown. You just realize you're dealing with emotional upheavals and things that you don't really understand. And long and short was that in the course of trying to navigate that and trying to understand what was going on 10 years and then 12 years down the line, I
Mm-hmm.
found that public speaking was the one thing that helped me to give expression to all those emotions that were locked down. Because how do you unpack that? How do
Wow.
you explain what you felt in the first year, what you would have
Mm-hmm.
loved to tell your mother in the second or in the third year, or just so many things were going on.
Right.
And in storytelling, in sharing my story, in sharing my perspective of my experience, I found liberation. I found that padlock was, broken open, and I could express myself, I could communicate, and people could relate. So that's where it actually started for me. It was
Mm-hmm.
more of a personal, not a professional beginning. But down the line, I also realized that a lot of what we want to say, a lot of what I wanted to say as a
But down
pharmacist,
the line, I also
as
realized
an
that
individual,
a lot.
was easier to say. There's some echo there. Was easier to say when I knew what to say and how to say it. I found that it was a skill that I could use and harness to improve my output, even as a pharmacist, even as a marriage coach, which was also something I was very passionate about. And so my career has metamorphosed as a result of public speaking. But I realized that public speaking is a tool that anybody can use. It's not something you say, okay, I'm a public speaker, I'm not a public speaker. Everybody can be a public speaker in addition to whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah, so that's where it all began.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a very, wonderful insight because it's not every day you see pharmacists who are suddenly public speakers and then now coaching. So how
Yeah.
did you now go from speaking to now coaching? And that became like the foundation of everything because now you don't just speak, you're actually going out of your way to make sure other people get these skills and people come to understand it. How did that happen?
So I joined, thank you for the question. I joined an organization that is focused on public speaking and leadership. And I rose up the ranks in both ways. I went through contests after contests and I was winning in different ways, from impromptu speaking, which is where you speak without any prior knowledge. You don't know what you're going to talk about, and something is presented to you and you have to speak. And then there were prepared speeches and learning how to prepare a speech, how to improve on it, how to use storytelling, infuse storytelling, etc. How to end, how to start it well, how to end it well, all of those things. So there was the speaking aspect, but there was also the leadership aspect. And at a point, I was in charge of education in that place, in that organization, or in that space. And I had to be helping people to get to know how to do the things that I was doing. Now, it was all available to all of us, but I found that some people found it easier when I helped them to understand what to do and how to do it. And I just thought, hey, okay, if what comes naturally to me is hard for some people and I'm helping them, well, let's see what we can do with this. And that's kind of how I got started. So in a sense, it hasn't been that long since I started doing it outside of that organization, but I have experienced that children, I've worked with children, I've worked with adults, and I found that anybody can learn how to be a better public speaker. And yeah, so that's
Yeah,
basically
that's
it.
that's that's very that's very insightful. Thank you very much, everyone that joined us. I can see quite a number of people. People keep fluctuating, and it's great to see that we do have company, even though we started the live almost 30 minutes later than we scheduled it. Not because we wanted to start late, but because we dealt with technical issues. So today we are talking about public speaking and personal branding, and it's supposed to be a Q&A session. So if you have any question about public speaking or personal branding, if you have any confusion, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Feel free to put them in the chat. We'll be addressing your questions. My name is Amaka, and I'm here with Tolu, and we are just having this conversation. This was supposed to be like a relaxed live because it was the first one, right? So I'm like, we're just going to have this relaxed time of figuring things out. So I guess I could share a little bit about personal branding before I get back to
I
Tolu.
was okay.
Yeah,
I
if
was
you have a
actually to
question
ask
for
you a
me.
question.
Okay.
Yes.
Please, let's
Okay.
do it.
So I have a few questions here for you. You're on the
All
hot
right.
seat now. You
Okay.
ready?
I was
Okay.
born ready, Tolu.
I know. I know. Okay. So what would you say is the biggest mistake that you see professionals make when trying to build their own personal brand?
Yeah, that's a
Professionals
very
in particular. Yeah.
yeah, that's a very important question. There's been a couple, right? But if I would say, I think it's the illusion that building a personal brand is for a select few people, or building a personal brand is the same thing with having a lot of followers and being an influencer. I think there's that mistake. People always have that confusion, so people get to a point where they begin to feel like, oh no, this is not for me. I'm not an influencer. I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to put my business out there. So I think that is where the perception is and why so many professionals, entrepreneurs, career people, they are not taking advantage of it in this creator economy, right? People have not noticed that businesses have shifted. People are still like, they are still there. They don't know that things have really shifted. People are now at the point where they want to feel more than you selling something to them beyond the
Okay.
features of your product, beyond what your product can do. People now want to know why you are doing it. Why are you doing it? What is the inner reason behind it? People want to have an experience. Some big brands already figured that out a long time ago. That is why you see brands like Coca-Cola will never come to sell Coke to you. They will never come and tell you that Coke contains water, it contains sugar. No, they sell an experience. They try to tell you the experience you get from it. They show you pictures about families on vacation and things like that. So people
Right.
don't really see how it is important for them to leverage their personal brand as a way to elevate whatever they are doing, whether it's your career, whether it's your business. It's like your personal brand is like that big differentiator, because now it's just as though you are inviting people into your world. And the thing is that most of the time people struggle because you're trying to sell to everyone, right? You're trying to do business with everybody. You're trying to solve problem with everybody, so everybody's problem. But actually
Right.
your goal should be to do business with people who believe what you believe. So it should be about positioning yourself to attract. So you want to attract opportunities instead of going out there chasing them, right?
And
So
how
I'm
would
going
they
to
know what you believe if you don't tell them?
if you don't tell them, right? So it's personal branding is all about perception. This is my values, this is my belief, this is why I started doing what I'm doing. Most of the time people still ask me the same question. You have a PhD, you've been in the sciences for I have 12 years of science education, right? And then
Right.
somehow I'm into person. So there is the why behind it. And it is that why that has always pulled my audience to me, because I'm able to tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing. Not that this
Right.
is what I'm doing, but this is why. This is why it's
Why I'm doing
important to
it.
me. This is why it means so much to me. It comes from my own personal story, from my own personal experiences. So I really think that that is where most of the time when people don't get it right to understand that personal branding is a way to elevate whatever you are doing, whether your
Yeah.
career, whether your business. It's not for you to, the point is not to become an influencer. The point is not that you want to be out there and have 100 million followers before you know you have a personal brand. You can have 2,000 followers and still have a very vibrant, strong brand that has created its own niche, attracted its own people, solving problems for people. So that's really what I think. Yes.
That's lovely. A quick follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
So, for many people, it's like, okay, so this is about me putting myself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on one hand, you
I think
want
Annie
to
has a
be,
question for you, though. So you take notes. I probably think
yeah,
that's your
I see his
question.
question. I wanted you
Okay.
to answer two, and then I'll, I'll
Okay.
come
Okay.
to
All
this
right.
one.
Nice. Yes.
Yes. So, what do you think is where do you draw the line between being authentic, being vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
and then being professional?
Mm.
Because you don't
Yeah.
want to come across as too,
Too much.
what's the word? Like oversharing, like too much, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, you want to be authentic. So where do you draw the line?
That's a very important question. I think I've gotten that question a couple of times. Most of the time when I do like onboarding session, or maybe when I'm even speaking to people one-on-one, people that's always people have that challenge, because in personal branding, you need to share your personal stories, right? It's your personal stories that actually attracts people to you. Because at the end of the day, think about it, none of us is saying anything inherently new. If we are going to be honest, there's hardly any of us there's nothing you, there's no concept that you're teaching now that is completely new, never heard of, just fell out of the moon, and you are the first person to know. You can, only thing you can bring to it is your own unique perspective. And it is your own unique story, your lived experiences, the things you've been through as a person. That is what actually, that is the twist that comes into it. What am I trying to say? For example, I can decide to come and share with you and tell you, well, you need to be resilient. Just be resilient. When trouble come, don't give up. Just keep going. Even if you're going through hard time, smile. It's going to make you feel better. That's a story I can share with you. Anybody can give you that motivation. I
Right.
can also decide to, like, I'm just linking this to a recent post that I made that actually went viral. So I thought about it. So I can decide to now say, okay, this is my picture. This picture was taken less than 1 hour after I had a major surgery. And I'm
Right.
telling you something now, right? I'm bringing you on a journey. I said, okay, I had a major surgery. I had a 7-pound cancer tumor. And somehow I was able to find the strength to laugh, to smile, to be happy. And the fact that I'm smiling does not mean it's taking away the pain, really. It's just that it's giving me the strength to power through. How come people connect more with that than for me to just come and tell you the same thing, just telling you,
Right.
be resilient, be strong, be
Right.
happy. I can tell you
Right.
all of that, but now I've taken you on a journey. I've shown you that, okay, this is possible. What I'm telling you is no longer abstract, right?
Yeah.
So for me, where I draw the line with personal branding, I always tell people, don't share things you have not healed from. The social media space for me is not where you go and do your healing. That's not what I think. If you're going through something, as much as possible, you need to build an army of community around you that care about you, that will check in with you, that you can be real with, right?
Right.
It took me more than 2 years to come out to share. I had cancer, I went through cancer. I had to get comfortable. I had to reach a point where I was now teaching you the lessons. I was no longer trying to get any kind of pity party. I was not trying to get you to feel sorry for me. No,
Right.
I'm trying to tell you that this is something I've lived through. This is how it was for me. This is how I coped. Now I'm giving you a blueprint. Because at the end of the day, the question is, if I'm sharing a story, why are you sharing it? That's
Right.
always the challenge. Why do you want to share this story? Why should I care? You
Right.
can get a few oohs and ahs and sorry and oh, poor you. Then what?
So what?
Then what? So what at the end of the day, right? You can
Right.
come out now and you are all, crying, you're hanging. Yeah, everybody says, oh, poor you, this happened to you. Then what happened after that? But it's different when you are flipping the script that, yeah, this was a journey. I went through it. Now I'm guiding you. I'm presenting it to you now as something that would help you. I'm no
Right.
longer presenting it as something that I'm still struggling with. That is why for even speaking, I guess you would even know this more
Yeah.
than me, right? Now, most of the time, your story becomes transformational when you've gone
Right.
through that journey.
Right.
Otherwise, you become a mess on stage. Imagine
Right.
being on stage and you are still
You
living that
start
trauma.
sobbing. Right.
Do you understand? So what do you expect your audience to do? But what it happens that I can share the pain and then I can share the victory. I can
Right.
share the lessons. I can share the transformation. So for me, that
Right.
is personally where I draw the line. I say, yeah, I can share whatever if I've lived through it and I've reached that point where I have survived it, more or less. I've gone through it. I can now come and share with you and tell you, okay, these are some of the challenges. It was really difficult, but this is how I managed it. I feel like that's more
Yeah.
useful to you. But
Absolutely.
we cannot take away personal stories from personal branding. If you take away your personal story from personal branding, then it's no longer personal branding, really.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
That's very important, and that just kind of answers the question that hasn't been asked, which is where's the place of storytelling in personal branding? I think you have
Right.
basically explained it. Right. So I
Yeah.
will go to let me answer Annie's question. Thank you so
Mhm.
much, Annie, for being here. I hope you're feeling stronger. I know you were not feeling too great earlier. Okay, so what are your tips to structure a 10-minute speech? I love that you specified 10 minutes. Okay. And I'm going to give, first of all, general tips for structuring a speech. And then we'll talk about time, which is a very important component of public speaking. So, a speech should typically have three parts: you have your introduction, you have the body, and you have the closing. Introduction, body, closing. Those three parts are each unique in the way they operate. So let's start with the introduction. Now, understand with your introduction that your audience, many times, their attention span is not that great, and there are a lot of things fighting for their attention. So the same way we are sitting here now and we're talking with you, you're probably in your homes. If you're in Nigeria, for example, or in the UK, it's evening for you. You have a lot of things going on, thinking about maybe how to prepare for tomorrow's service, how to prepare for all kinds of things. There are a lot of things fighting for your attention, competing for your attention with what we are doing right here. So what do we do to catch your attention and to make you stay? Okay, so that's kind of how you need to think of the introduction. So you're talking of things like a short story or some striking data or some quotation. There are many different ways that you can do an introduction, but let's leave it with those three. Okay, so something that captures the attention because it's a wake up call. What you want is something that makes them say, hey, I wonder what she's going to say next. as opposed to blah, 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 in which case they've zoned out and it's not hard. It is said that within 35 to 37 seconds, people would lose, you've lost them if you don't get their attention within that short period of time. Okay, so you want to start with a good beginning. The introduction is not the story, but it wakes the person up to want to connect with the story. So the story is usually in the body. And by the story, I don't mean necessarily storytelling, but the content that you're trying to deliver, the main meat of the matter. Whether it is research work that you want to present, or it is a story of something that happened, or the information about a product, or whatever it is, the information, the main information, this is actually the thing you wanted to deliver. So you would think, okay, let me just rush and deliver the main thing and forget all this fluff. But if you don't start well, then you won't even gain access to deliver what you're trying to deliver. Okay, so understand the difference. Now, for that body, while it is important to deliver the information, you want to deliver it in a way that retains that attention that you have managed to get with your introduction, because you could easily lose it, right? So generally, a common mantra to retain is that facts tell, stories sell. So if you're telling something about research work, you want to introduce some kind of story around it, some kind of humanity into it. If you're just giving data and reeling out data, in 1982, 100 people did this. 1995, 200 people did that. 247 did this. It's like, so what, so what, so what? By the time you say that, look, in 1992, Amina had this expression. Her grandmother had had it 2 years ago. This, people start thinking, okay, do I know Amina? Okay, I don't know Amina, but that sounds a lot like Jennifer. Oh, wow. Oh, my.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To action, or maybe the summary, the main message at the end of the day, when we've said all these things, here's what I want you to get away with. Whatever it is, you're ending with the last thing that is the nugget that, okay, if you don't remember anything else, you remember
Mm.
this. And
Yeah.
that's basically what you try to do with a speech.
Mm.
Now, you have 10 minutes to deliver a speech. What do you do? Of
Mm.
course, if you already know beforehand that you have 10 minutes, you want to try and prepare the speech in such a way that if you're dealing with an audience, usually I would say work with like 8 minutes,
Okay.
so that at least you can entertain maybe one or two questions at the end, because you
Right.
want feedback.
Mm-hmm.
You want, in case there was something that was not understood, in case there was something that needed clarification, you have
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes to still play with. So work with 8 minutes, practice with 8 minutes. Don't cram your speech. Instead, work out an outline. You can cram your outline, but don't cram your speech.
Right. I
Because
think
if
that's
you
that's
cram your speech, yeah, you're
That's really
probably not.
beautiful, Tolu. Yeah, thank you. I think that was very detailed. I like the way you really broke it down. It's about start strong, finish powerfully, leave people with something, have some sort of outline, so that at least people can know what they got from it. There are
Yeah,
so many times you listen to conversations or you go somewhere and at the end you're wondering, what did I learn? Like
right,
what did I get from
right,
this? Right. So that's
right.
something you really want to avoid. Yeah, I haven't seen the people saying hi in the chat. Hello, everyone.
Mm.
Please help us share the live. It's our first live, so I'm really very
Yes,
excited. The way
so
I'm excited. I'm feeling like I achieved something. Like I've checked
it's
one, I've checked one box. Like the way you're like, I want to do this. Finally, I'm doing it, and it's like, oh, okay, finally, I'm doing this. So help us share the
and
live. Help us invite other people. It's so nice that you're here and you are listening to our conversation. I'm also looking at the chat to see if we have any questions or any comments. I see Michael said, I have my marketing pitch from university where I start the presentation by asking a question. Does layer determine the soap? If a soap doesn't, is it layer or ladder? I don't know. Layer, does that mean it's fake and they stay to hear? Well, I would stay to listen to you because that's strange, kind of, right? Yeah, and Annie says yes, facts tell, stories sell. So that's the other way around. Yes, so that's really true. As much as possible, the whole point of I think personal branding and public speaking have a lot of connection, even though most times people don't think they are connected, but they really are connected. They are really very connected because it's about being able to confidently project your idea to a large group of people without apology, just being bold to say, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, not shrinking yourself. That's the same kind of confidence that you get when you become very good with public speaking and having to just hold an audience to listen to you. Okay, we're making progress. Do you have any more questions for me? Any questions from the people in the chat? Thank you so much for joining us. I've said I'm excited plenty times. I'm seeing the likes. How does the likes come? I'm seeing all the hearts. How does it happen?
Yes,
Where does the
very
hearts come
beautiful.
from? Send us more hearts. I love it. Please send more hearts. It makes me happy.
I can actually feel your excitement, Dr. Amaka. It's very
I'm
interesting.
so
But
excited.
it's one thing to go live, it's another thing to go live together. Look at the drama today.
Yeah, I'm
Going
happy that
live
you're
together.
here, really, truly. I think I would have been more frustrated if it was just me. I kept
Oh,
creating the live again and again. This was the
yeah.
fourth one or the fifth one. So it's even it's magic that we have people hearing us do our thing.
Honestly.
Yeah, so any more questions for me? I think we'll probably shut down in the next say maybe 10 or 15 minutes or so. We could
Okay,
shut
so let
down
me
so that
ask
we
you
can
one
let
more
people go.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, yes, this is a bit personal.
Okay.
Because this is my kind of people. If my
Mm-hmm.
kind of people are in the house, when I say this, when I ask this one, just give me, no, not hearts, because hearts are already coming. What do you give me now? Drop something nice. Say something
Mm-hmm.
nice, literally
Okay.
something nice
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
chat, so I know that yes, my people are here.
Mm-hmm.
How can someone with multiple passions or career paths build a clear and consistent personal brand without feeling
Mm,
boxed?
mm, mm,
If you are
mm.
my kind of people, because these are,
Eh,
you
I
know
I
how we
wish
roll.
I wish I had a place to give you a hat too, or give you something myself, but I don't see where to do that from here.
Something nice.
Yeah, you're absolutely. That's a very like this question is something that I've had to walk through with several people after having to walk
Yeah.
through it for myself, literally, and then that became like the foundation of most of my one-on-one calls that I have with people or the one-on-one coaching is mostly people trying to how do I really take all of these 100 things I know how to do and package
Right.
them in such a way that I'm not confusing people, right? Because it's not very easy at the end of the day to come and say I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. By the time you are getting to the third or the fourth one, you've lost a lot of people, right? So it's usually not as easy as it seems. If you are multi-talented, you have so many things that you are passionate about and you know how to do. Those are really where it comes in. So when it comes to personal branding, I think the most important ingredient in personal branding is clarity. You're not trying to be cute, you're trying to be clear. Clarity is very, very critical in whatever you're doing, right? So, and then it's going to come from passion is good, but if you're trying to build a business, you also need to ask yourself, what can people pay me for? So it has to
Right.
be, passion, competence, what people want, something that is a practical problem that you can solve. I'll give you a typical example, right? You know, myself, my background is in agriculture. It's far
Right.
removed from a lot of the things I do online. Does it mean that I still don't have a career in agriculture? No, I still do, right? I still have a career that is rooted in agriculture, and I still try to drag that title along because it's more like my corporate career. But then looking at things from a more practical standpoint, I can create content on agriculture, which I do from time to time. My newsletter is basically all on ag, trying to provide solutions for ag. What that does for me is to make me a thought leader. Is anybody going to ever pay me for that beyond like a corporate career? No, there's no way I can package that and sell it. At least I've not seen how to do that, right? Even though, do I know it? Well, yes. I've
Yeah.
had 12 years of education, right? Do I understand it very well? Yes. Can I talk to you about agriculture for 2 hours without even thinking about what to say? I could. But then, is it feasible to say I'm trying to now build like a side business or like something that I can package to solve specific problem people have? It's not very feasible. So when it comes to personal branding, as much as you have your multi-talents, it's also very important to kind of sit down and begin to ask yourself, which of these my talents can solve problem for people quickly? Which of these
Right.
can I package into a clear-cut product? Because there's nothing like confusing people with the offer that you are bringing. There has to be clarity. This is what I'm selling. This is how long it's going to take. Maybe you are coming on a course. It's a 1 week course. It's a 3 days course. It's a 21 days thing. However you describe it, but it needs to be clear. People need to
Right.
know for sure that this is what they are getting. So I would always say, at most, it should not be more than two different things that you are projecting. If it can even be one of things that are related, it's better for you. Sometimes what that happens is that once you now begin to establish that thing, if you've established it well enough, whatever you brings along also sells, because at that point, people are no longer buying what you are selling, they're buying you. They're buying your
Right.
credibility. That is why brands like Apple can go from iPhone to whatever. They can go to flat
Yes.
screen TV. Why? Now you are buying the Apple experience. It's no longer about whatever product they bring along. But they had to kind
Right.
of niche themselves to a particular thing and grow on that thing and get known with it and get known for that excellence, because that is what you are striving to get. You are trying to reach that point where your name becomes a household name for a solution to something. That when somebody is
Right.
struggling with public speaking, someone is saying, Tolu, you are struggling. Tolu is the person for you now. Do you know Tolu? Go and talk to her. She will help you solve it. Or someone is coming on LinkedIn, they don't know where to figure it out. They will say, oh, Amaka, oh, Dr. Amaka, don't you know about her cohort? You should go and join. Do you understand? You're trying to really,
Yes.
really kind of build that and build. Personal branding is just repetition. Really, it's just that you repeat something to the point that people can no longer ignore you. That's just what personal branding is in its simplest form. Is that I'm able to emphasize something in your mind so many times using different formats, using different ways, and I continue to emphasize it in your mind that, for example, you see Ma Ibironke, you hear her name, you think about parents
Parenting
lounge.
lounge.
You say it so many times and in so many different ways with so many different stories that there's no longer confusion about who you are serving and why you are doing it. But if you decide to come with 10 things at once, best believe it's going to really be hard to kind of carve that thing for yourself, where that you can
Right.
now repeat it over time and over time. So what usually best is, like, you can have a particular product that you can now begin to diversify in so many different forms. Like, oh, I have a public speaking class that is a cohort. It's a course that people can do for 2 weeks with me. Or I have a package that people are working with me one-on-one for people who are so busy that they cannot
Right.
join the cohort. They can work with me one-on-one. Oh, I have a course that people can even take and do self-paced by themselves. It's
Right.
one thing, right? Oh, now I can be invited to speak. I can be invited now, so I can even get paid as a speaker who is invited to come and speak. So it's one thing, but you are now looking for different ways to milk
To
what you are
yeah,
building, right? But
absolutely.
you are giving yourself time to really grow in that one area, such that it doesn't become too broad that I don't know what you're doing. That's the thing, it can be that way. But sometimes it's okay to start like that. That's the thing. There's nothing wrong with starting like that, because sometimes the mistake people make is they try to niche down too quickly, and then they realize that this is not what they want to do.
Right.
That's something that can happen, right? So
Right.
if you're
Right.
if
And then
yes,
feel stuck.
if you stuck. So when you are coming to build your personal brand in your mind, you need to begin to think about it as a long-term game. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Begin to see
Absolutely.
yourself as someone who just got into the university. That's the way you take away frustration. Because sometimes people do it for 1 month and they get frustrated. The way you remove
Right.
frustration is that if you are going to go and do a 4-year course or a 5-year course to become a pharmacist, you cannot finish year one and say, why have
I'm
these people
tired. I'm
not
not
given
doing
me my
it.
certificate? Like, why have I not? I've been here for one
Right.
year. Why have I not graduated? Do you understand? So people need to kind of understand personal branding as like an investment type of thing. I was talking to
Right.
someone of recent, someone from the UK that is, I'm trying to help him set up AI kind of business for healthcare people. And then he was telling me, oh, he's busy. I said, yeah, I understand that you are busy, but do you want to make this business work? He said, yes. I said, you need to see the 1 hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours that you are spending on LinkedIn every day as an investment in your business. That's where the mindset shift comes. You need to see that you are investing time to grow something. And just like anything that is worth building, the foundation is usually the hardest. If you're
Right.
trying to build a 10-story building, you'll be surprised how deep you have to dig. They can spend 2 years building foundation, 3 years building foundation. But when you raise the building, it may take you 6 months, and you've like every week you're adding one story. So it's always that foundational work that most times people just give up along the way because they feel like
Right.
I'm not getting the wins immediately. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen
Mm.
like that. So it's okay to come
Mm.
with your broad skill. The first aspect of personal branding, top of the funnel, is just all about, it's just about creating awareness. It's about telling me who you are. That's what it's not about you selling anything to me. The first couple of months of personal branding, just tell me who you are. Tell me the things that excite you. Tell me the things you are learning.
Mm.
Let me get to know
Mm.
you as a person. Let me connect with you. I always tell people when I came on LinkedIn, I was not anybody. I was a graduate student who was figuring out life. And I shared my
Mm.
stories. It was in
Mm.
the process of sharing my stories, in the process of just being there, supporting people, that my own dream became clearer. So passion, purpose is something that you develop. It is when
Right.
people will now start reaching out to you to say, how can I solve this problem? How did Scholar Up Mentoring Academy was born from questions people were asking me, not because I
Mm.
already came with that idea. In all honesty, I say it all the time. So it's not because I had the predetermined idea that I wanted to come on LinkedIn and start Scholar Up Mentoring Academy. No, I just wanted to come on LinkedIn to share my story. I wanted to connect with new people. I just needed a place for a release as someone who was going through a lot of stress from grad school.
Mm.
It was in that
Mm.
process of people coming to ask me, oh, how do I come to grad school? How do I come to the US? How? That's like, okay, there's something here. There's a problem here. Do you see how now you are beginning to see that, oh, okay,
Mm.
I understand this. I know this. I'm passionate about people. This is a problem I can solve. And then in that process of beginning to deal with people one-on-one, you're now beginning to see that, oh, the people I'm trying to help, they don't they don't have confidence. They don't know how to talk about themselves. And that is how personal
Right.
branding was born. So it's now coming from directly trying to solve people's problem and not just coming with an already made solution or already fixed mindset of
Right.
this is what I must project, right? So having a bit of an open mind, giving it some time, allowing yourself to explore. That's the thing.
Mm.
People want to skip that explorative phase. Allow yourself to explore. Allow yourself to enjoy being a beginner.
Yeah.
Yes, allow yourself to begin to think, talk about, or share who you are with people. See how people
Mm.
receive your person. Begin to see some of the things that people throw out at you. It is in the mix of all of that. The kind of questions people would ask you, the kind of responses you will get, you will now begin to search through your skill sets to figure out which of these things can I clearly package, that I
Yeah.
can clearly package to say, this is what I'm selling to you, this is what you're going to get out of it, this is how long
Mm-hmm.
it's going to take you. Without that clarity, it's hard for people to connect, right? But it takes figuring out, and it takes a bit of work, it takes a bit of investment. I always see
Mm.
personal brand as an invest. It's something that you have to invest first before you reap. It's not like
Right.
a buy and sell type of thing where you already come with your goods ready made. Like, oh,
Ready
see
to
me, I
go.
have all my goods. This is what I'm selling. Start buying it immediately.
Mm.
Mm-mm. It's more
Mm.
like you come, you invest your time, you get to build community, you get connected with people, people know what you're about. By the time you start
Yes.
rolling out things, people already trust you. They know you,
Mm.
they like you. It's
Mm.
really very important. Yes, I feel like that's like the foundation of everything personal branding. But most times, a lot of people do not have the patience to stick out that phase of being a beginner. It's like
Mm.
YouTube. You see me being excited about being a beginner on YouTube. I'm like that. I'm like a child when it comes to learning things, right? I don't mind owning that I'm learning, I'm figuring it out, I'm new here, I'm having a hard time,
Right.
right? It's not
Right.
about always trying to present yourself as I'm the expert of
Perfect.
everything. I have it all figured out. Just be yourself. Give yourself time to really even understand the platform. How do you do inbound outreach, outbound outreach? How do you connect with people? What are the different ways you can really build your community of people who know who you are, and you begin to collaborate with, just as we are doing now. You are just collaborating, you're
Right.
learning, you're freestyling, you're getting to meet more people, you are expanding your network. People are hearing you, people are connecting with you. It's all part of the process of personal branding. Before you
Lovely.
just, jump the gun to say, oh, I want to just niche, I'm just coming. I just arrived today. This is what I have to sell. Lawyer, start buying it. It usually doesn't work. Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amaka. Thank you for
Mm.
that robust response. And
I'm
I'm
looking at
sure, I hope we're
Michael.
getting value. Yeah.
People
I'm
in the
trying to
chat.
follow this.
Yes, I'm trying to see. So when someone is struggling with parenting, they will say it be wrong. Yeah, that's true. It's really true.
Yes,
Like,
so
Michael. Okay, Michael has a question. He
I think
says,
before Michael, there was another question from,
"Oh,
so that we don't
okay,
lose it.
all right,
There's another question from Annie.
okay,
What goes through your head? Abby, have we answered that
yes,
one?
no." So what goes through your head when you get on stage and see a big audience looking at you as a speaker? Okay, I'll let you take that one, and then I will also share my own experience. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, usually it's, except in the rare case where you don't know beforehand that you're going to speak. Maybe you have to stand in, or I've had to stand in for someone.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I'm aware. So I get to prepare my mind and know that, okay, this is coming up. This is what it's about. This
Mm-hmm.
is the kind of crowd that I'm going to be expecting to be
Mm-hmm.
dealing with. And again, another thing is because the imagery of the question is like you just walk in maybe from backstage, shock, all these
Mm-hmm.
people. Usually, you've seen, so you get to prepare your mind before that. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
usually as shocking as that. Having said that, the larger the audience, the more challenging it can be, especially if you don't. There's a kind of mental preparation that you need to do when you're going to face an audience, especially a physical audience.
Mm-hmm.
There's you need to tell yourself some, because your mind is going to be telling you all kinds of things, especially if
Mm-hmm.
you're not used to it. Your mind is going to be saying, oh my God, all these people looking at me, oh my God, I'm going to enter the ground, all kinds of things. So you need to be telling yourself certain things. I deserve to be here, I have a right to be here. These people need what I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
and they will get value from what I'm going to say. I'm excited about this opportunity. This is going to be wonderful. It's going to, so you need to psych yourself to the point where you are okay with it and you don't have a problem with it, and you already prepare. Another thing that I usually help people to do is like have a vision of, see yourself in your mind's eye when it's over. Hear that applause. Hear it. Yes, hear that
Mm-hmm.
applause when you're done, so that it's like beginning with the end in sight. So
Mm-hmm.
this is where we're going. By the time we're
Mm-hmm.
done, people are going to be clapping. They're going to get so much value and all of that. So that is what you're now working towards. It
Mm-hmm.
changes the mindset from terror, all these people are looking at me, the ground is going to open, to wow, these people are going to
Excitement.
get so much value. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a world of difference. The mind is an amazing blessing that God has given us. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I think
and
I
then
agree
Dr.
with
Amaka had the experience of facing what, 10,000? How many people
10,000 people, right?
in the stadium? Right. I thought, wow, now that.
Yeah,
How did you feel? Tell us about that.
yeah,
How
I
did you
was just,
feel?
when I read that question, I was just thinking, my mind went back again to that day in December 13th of 2024. And even though I was prepared for that speech, to tell you the truth, when I looked at the actual 10,000 people,
Hmm.
it was scary. There was that, even though in my mind, of course, I had not been in front of a crowd that large. I had spoken in
Right.
maybe smaller audiences, 100
Yeah.
people, 500, like that. But 10,000 people scattered around is like sand. Literally, you cannot really get a
You
view
can't
of
see them.
everyone. It's a lot of
Right.
people, right? So, and I realized that just as you said, the mind is malleable and you can trick yourself to believe almost anything, right?
Hmm.
So the moment I had walked in, I was actually on stage. I was on stage for a while before it got to my time to get up to go do the speech. So the more I was looking around, the more my mind would like, I cannot disgrace my village people. There's that part of your mind that is telling you that you're becoming part of the history of the school. Any mistake you make
Right.
is stuck. It's not something you can undo. It's not. It's
Hmm.
already there. It's done. It's done
Mm-hmm.
and dusted. It's not. It's
Hmm.
not a live event that you can say, okay, let me delete it, let me erase it.
Right.
It's not even in
Right.
your. It's done. It's already there
You can't edit
permanently.
nothing.
You
Hmm.
can't edit nothing. So that there was that fear in my mind, right? But then
Right.
again, something that kind of helped me was just what you were describing, which is thinking about the value that the story that I was sharing, the speech that I was giving, thinking about that moment when I would have completed it, when I would have made my country proud. Do you
I
understand? So
mean,
just
I
envisioning the
mean,
end. Envisioning the end was very, very important. Even when I was still in the middle of my speech and they started clapping, it was like, oh my God. Oh God, I was like, oh God,
goosebumps.
who is this person? They cannot even wait for me to finish. Like they are clapping them. I'm like, oh, it's like
Right.
it's like we are on point. So
Yes, sir.
it's really true what we can do with our mind.
Right.
Is
Right.
there's a way we can actually switch fear to excitement. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes two different things. If you're able to really
Absolutely.
stick to the vision to know that yes, I've been chosen to do this, is because I'm worthy of it, is because I was selected as the best, is because I had something important to say. So you just kind
Mm-hmm.
of psych your mind up. And then usually I realize that most times when I start giving a speech, as I'm starting, my voice could be trembling. But the moment I just kind of get into it, then I'm not seeing anybody again. That's another thing I've come to notice, that they start sometimes there, in the beginning you are still, but the
Yes.
moment you really just kind of get into it, you're no longer seeing anybody. Like you're literally
Right.
now lost in what you're doing. You are so focused. And I feel like that has kind of helped. That was for
Mm.
me, that was like the biggest speech so far that I've ever given. And it's given me that mindset to know that I'm even worthy of bigger stages, right? Because once you've
Absolutely.
achieved something, then you have it as a reference point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's also an important thing that we need to do for ourselves in life. That when you are chasing your goals, always keep track. When
Right.
difficult things come up, remind yourself of some of the things you've overcome. Just remind
Mm-hmm.
yourself, use them as reference points. There's a way it just boosts that your motivation. Even in those very trying moments, you can just like, okay, but I survived this, right? Oh, I
Right.
went through this and I was fine.
Right.
This is not the worst thing that can happen to me. This is just like a chapter, and I'm going to go through this chapter and I'm still going to be okay. So it's all in the mind. It's about
Yes.
doing all of those mind tricks. Yes, I think that was a very good question. I think Iromesole has a question too. Or
Okay.
was there another
Let me read
question
that one.
before his own? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So Ramos Sele asks, in my opinion, he says,
Mm-hmm.
more people want to find ways for visibility, but it is almost to amplify their person. Okay, but it is all amplify their person than their skills.
Mm-hmm.
What's your perception about audiences rarely following growth process? E.g., people would, I think he continued, people would believe they don't need public speaking courses, but want to be a public speaker and learn and want to learn to elevate their visibility rather than the skill. I hope my question is clear. Okay. Yeah, I
Yes,
think
your,
so.
your your question is very crystal clear, and it's crystal clear, and it is unfortunately true. It's unfortunately true in this age and time. It's become really noisy. It's become so
Mm-hmm.
noisy that there are a couple of people who have no skill, but because they are very noisy, they manage to use social media to push themselves to fame, and somehow they become celebrities. And in your mind, you're wondering, what are we celebrating again? Like,
Right,
why are we celebrating this person? it's
right.
it's sad. It's sad but true, right? And that is why you see some of us, you see people like me, people like Tolu, you yourself, Michael, you still keep trying to push that narrative, especially in young people. Like, learn, grow, become skilled. You want people
Mm-hmm.
who can actually be proud of the skills that they have and not just
Right.
making noise. And I think what has made it really worse is that clickbait sells. That is why if somebody makes a YouTube video and get 1,000 subscribers in 2 days, Even if you click it and the person is saying rubbish, you see 200,000 views because people
Right.
think that that is possible. The person that is telling you that probably has not done it. Oh. I saw one recently, 4,000 watch hours in 3 days or something like that. They
Ah,
get 4,000 watch hours in, right? So clickbait sells. People would want to click because everybody is trying to see, how can I accelerate my success in the quickest way possible?
right.
How can I graduate without even going to school? How can I do this?
Right.
What is the quick? And that is why Ponzi schemes continue to break people down.
Right.
That's why it
Right.
continues to sell. So, Eramosole, you are right. As much as you are right, the only thing I guess we can do as coaches, as mentors, as people who are really passionate about people development is to continue to preach your own message.
Hmm.
That's what I think. I really think that some things are beyond your scope of influence as a person. As much as it breaks my heart, the much I can do would be to come out and preach a different sermon and hope that if
Right.
it is one person I convert. It was just like when Jesus was doing his own sermon, right? You hope that if
Hmm.
it is one person you convert,
One
if it is
person.
two, that's all you can do, is to just
That's all.
stay focused on it. I think I talked about it in one of my recent LinkedIn posts when I did the 50. I've been doing this my day to day. Today is the 55. Tolu, I'm almost there.
Hey, we're almost
Day
there.
55. You
That will
see
start
now,
again.
I've not
It's
reached
when you
four.
start again, I'll join you.
Amen. Oh, let's
Uh-huh.
do it. Yes, so let's
Uh-huh.
do it.
Uh-huh.
I've not even reached
Yeah.
400 followers. Oh, you see it? And these
You're
are
almost there. Don't
valuable.
worry. Don't worry.
No,
When
I'm
it
not
rains,
worried.
it will rain.
I really am not, right? I
Okay.
really am not, because I'm someone who have understood process. I'm at a point in my
Right.
life where I have understood process. So I no longer chase things with that mindset of it has to happen now, 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 now,
Now.
now, right? But it's a mindset that you realize that a lot of people don't have. People really
Hmm.
don't have that mindset. People will just feel like it should happen, it should happen. And that's why people get scammed. People
Mm-hmm.
lose money over things. And then sometimes people even get opportunities, but they are not prepared. Like when the opportunity finally comes and meets them, they will still lose that opportunity because they don't have anything
The
to offer.
foundation is not there.
The
Yeah.
foundation is not there. The foundation is shaky. They've not taken their time to kind of build on top of it.
Not put
So
in
you
your
are right.
10,000 hours.
Right. A lot of people on social, even on LinkedIn, that is supposed to be a professional platform, there are people
Mm.
whose posts you see all the time, and it's just noise. It's just
Right.
noise. Then they tell you,
Mm.
oh, I earned 7 figures, 6 figures, and that is all you will see continuously. Some is just clout. But does it take away the fact that there are people who are genuinely going out of their way to want to deliver value, to want to get
Mm.
people to begin to understand? There are still people who will do that. So you would
Right.
find your people. That's the thing. Just preach your message, stick to it. So I put it on my post. I said, it's very hard to grow on YouTube without clickbait. And that's true.
Hmm.
It is hard. It's hard for you if you're trying to grow an audience on YouTube and you are trying to be organic, you're trying to really share from your
Right.
heart and you're really sharing something valuable. You realize that a lot of people don't really care about that. But if it is
Mm-mm.
make 1 million in 2 weeks or in 1 week,
They will hit someone
it will blow up.
to
Even though when you
subscribe it.
finish watching it, you will not have learned anything about how you will do it. But more and more
Right.
people will. So yeah, I don't know what you think, Tolu, but that's my thought. My thought is that you should just
Absolutely.
do what you can. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The thing is, I love what you said about process. That's what it is, really. That
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know how to do something, I used to talk to my staff. I have had to train staff over the years. Working in the pharmacy in different areas. That look, if you don't learn to do the thing well when it's somebody else's business, it's not like you will now have that skill when it's your own. You know
Mm-hmm.
how people just think that, okay, I'll just do it anyhow. Then when it's my own, I'll now do very well. No,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you learn to do things. So you will just be like that.
Right.
So it's the same way, yes,
Mm-hmm.
that when it comes to public speaking, and I love what you pointed out, Mosele, public speaking, because it is speaking and we all talk, people think, okay, is it not just to talk? So you even see people put up posts, about how, okay, they will start talking more so that they will become a good public speaker. But if you are wrong, if your process is wrong and
You're
you repeat it,
consistently
you
wrong.
just become permanently wrong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It will
Yeah.
just, yeah. Because practice actually doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. So if you're practicing something wrong, then it will just stick and you'll now
Mm-hmm.
be very good at
Right.
But there are people who
Mm-hmm.
think that if I talk a lot, that means I'm effective. And the
Right.
person who is quieter is not a good communicator. No.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Communication is much more than just words. More
Mm-hmm. True.
hearing. It's
Mm-hmm.
still your responsibility. And that takes some skill and some learning. So absolutely, I agree with
I
you. And thank you
agree.
so
Yeah.
much. Thank you for the
I
question.
think we are almost reaching the 1 hour mark still. Probably we should go, but I see
Right.
Michael. Michael is asking us a question to look. Can you read
Hey,
out the
well,
question that Michael is asking? Oh God in heaven. That was why I was laughing.
welcome, Michael. Habaragini. I don't know.
But no, Michael
I'm trying to greet him in
Bakwesega.
Swahili. Yeah, no. He is
Okay.
always greeting in Swahili, but he
Okay.
didn't greet today. I was trying to greet him
Mm-hmm.
back. Okay. When you have nothing to lose, what do you do? Have you encountered such an experience and how did you navigate it? When you have nothing to lose, what do you
Mm.
do? Okay, interesting question.
Mm. It's a
I'm
very
wondering
interesting.
now, is this a personal branding question? Is
I'm
this
thinking
a
about contests. Yeah.
context, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What hits you? I don't know.
What's
Because for
hitting
me,
me? The way
yeah.
I'm trying, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it from a totally different standpoint from what he's trying to say. But the way I'm seeing that thing about sometimes when you have nothing to lose, because I look at it like the man who is on the ground, he's not afraid of falling again, right? If you're on the ground
Mm,
already, it's like you're not afraid of falling. So
mm,
sometimes if you have nothing to lose, that is when you can ruthlessly pursue your goal. That is when people reach that point where I'm not ashamed to come and talk about who I am. I'm not ashamed to build my personal brand. I'm not ashamed of what people will say, because there is always that element of what will people say about me? What will that person say? How will that person perceive me? How will this person say? All of those things has kept people stuck longer than they need to be,
mm.
right?
Right.
So many times people don't do the things they need to do to grow just because they don't want to be perceived a different way by some
Mm,
people, right? Something I've come to realize about friendships and relationship is that all of these emotions are based on shared values. And the moment one person begins to grow, that relationship start feeling off, not because anybody did
right.
anything wrong, not because this
Right.
person was better or that person, it's just because you are now outgrowing that situation.
Right.
And you realize
Right.
that people will do everything possible to want to keep you where it's comfortable, right?
Mm,
So the mindset of I don't have anything to lose, I'm at a point where I'm fighting for my life. I'm going to chase after my goals. I will chase after my goals. If I fall, I'll pick myself up and I'll keep going. That's the way I'm
yeah.
trying to see Michael's question. Like,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
have nothing to lose, then what are you going to do to me? Do you understand? Like at this point,
Right.
like you can say whatever you like. I'm just going to keep moving forward. So that's I
Yeah.
hope that answered. If I'm wrong, please tell
Yeah.
me. But
How
I was
it
actually
hits me. Yeah.
I was looking at the second question. I didn't even see that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking, sometimes when you're at that point where you feel like you have nothing to lose, it's like being at a
Crossroad.
crossroads, right? So there are two options.
Mm,
Either give up and kill yourself
mm,
and let the devil win,
mm, mm,
because I loved what I heard recently. Somebody was saying that the devil already lost. The devil
mm,
is a loser.
mm.
If you must lose, why lose to a loser?
It's not good now.
I thought,
Yeah.
preach. But the point is, many times when you feel like you have nothing to lose, you actually have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If you just hold on for one more day,
Mm,
hold on for one more day. Many times, when a person feels like they have nothing else to lose, many
mm-hmm.
times it's that discouragement that's like, you know what, just end it. You're not worth anything, and it's
Mm-hmm.
simply not true. That thing you're going through, you just need to get through it. Why? Somebody else out there is going to need this your experience of how to get through this. So you owe it to them, if not to you. If you don't feel like you deserve it right now because you feel like you're down and out, somebody out there, can you do it for that person? That person that is going to need this your experience that, oh, okay, there was a day when I could have killed myself. I could have ended it, but look at me now. That look at me now story, you have to live out today to get
Preach,
to that
preach,
place.
preach. That's deep.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's really good. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's always that I think for me one of the greatest quotes I feel that I always comes to my mind is I don't even know who the author of that quote is again, but that quote always sticks to me, especially whenever I'm going through hard times. I remind myself that if you catch hell, don't hold on
Don't
to
hold
it.
it.
Yeah. And if you're going through
Stop.
hell,
We're
don't
going through
stop.
hell. Don't stop.
Don't stop. Just keep moving.
Absolutely.
Just keep going. So
Yes.
it's I think
Yes.
it's all in the mind. It's all about
Yeah.
reaching that point of mental strength and mental capacity to realize that life happens in chapters. There's always the highs and the lows. And when you are in your moments, in your low moments, just face your reality. Just face your reality. Just live it. Just understand that all you can do is what is within your power. And as long as you are taking those small incremental steps every day, one day you will look back and realize that, oh wow, I've gone through. Like I've literally passed through.
It's
This thing
over.
that
That
felt
part
like it
has
was going to consume me is now a thing of the past that I can now even use to write stories, right? And I think one thing that I'm going to leave with people as a mindset is begin to see some of the things you've gone through as a means to open doors for yourself, right? You've gone through, like for me now, I'm writing my book. If I
Yay!
never had cancer, what would I write about?
Right.
Right? So
Right.
sometimes it is your experiences, those difficult moments that you could actually now write, like you talked about a blueprint, where you can actually now outline it, and that would even launch you to bigger opportunities. So somehow find a way to monetize your suffering, if I should put it that way.
Right. Let it pay
You
you. If
you
it pain
did
you,
let
let
it
it
pay
pay
you
you.
for
Hey,
just get some return
hey,
on
quotable
investment.
quotes.
Eh?
If
Get some
it pain
return.
you, let it pay you. Write it down, somebody.
Deep,
Hey,
somebody to
see
write it
Rema is
down.
just flowing today.
I'm telling
Kai,
you,
this Dr.
Rema,
Amaka.
they tell you. If it pain you, let it pay you.
If
Yeah,
it pain
true.
you, make it pay you.
I agree. Truly, if you've
Yes.
been through it, find a way to see how you can make a product out of it because now you've lived through it, you've gone through it, you understand it better. There is nobody that can teach you better than somebody who has experienced.
Yes.
Anybody can go to ChatGPT or read a book and try to come and give you advice. But it's very different when I come and tell you, this is my story. This is something I lived through. This is how I did it. It always hits differently. Yes, so thank you so much, Tolu.
Thank
See,
you.
our life has
Thank
gone
you.
far. You see, we had people when we were saying
Yes,
that
sir.
nobody will come and listen to
You said
us.
nobody will come. You see.
Let me tell
Okay.
you something.
So
I went on to.
Michael's part two.
Mhm,
Sorry, he was saying.
mhm. No, no,
Okay.
no.
Should I just read? Let me read everything that's from
Okay.
Michael so that we take it together. Okay. Michael says, how do you free yourself of the world and still engage it with purpose? Then he
Mm.
says, I see you both wear glasses. Why do you wear glasses? And when do you think you will stop wearing them? Do you believe that in time you'll regain your good sight? Michael, wait, see, we asked for questions, but it's not anyhow questions, please.
Hey,
The questions are supposed to be about personal branding and public speaking. Because
Michael
the
is
next thing now,
case. It's just case. Like, my God in heaven. Do you know that was the
Michael is
question
going
I
to
was
ask you,
looking
what is
at
the
and I
color
was
of your
just
lipstick?
laughing.
And
Tolu, when will you regain your good sight? Tolu, please.
hey,
When will you regain your good sight?
I have regained it. See, I don't have problem. Any other issue? It's just that I can't really see you well right now. So.
Hey, God in heaven. No. Okay,
Oh
let
my
me look at
goodness.
the question with how do you free yourself of the world and still engage it with purpose? The way I see that is it's all about being clear on your values. As human beings, I guess for me personally, what drives me is my value as a person. And that is the reason why, even if no matter how noisy it gets around me, I'm still able to reach the part where I want to look at this thing and say, no, this is not for me. This is not comfortable. This is not right. Right? Even if it's gaining traction, it's gaining popularity, even if it's the trending thing, you can match it to those values that you've built for yourself and then tell yourself that even if everybody's jumping on this bandwagon, I don't want to associate
Right.
my name, I don't want to associate my brand, I don't want to associate my person with this. So you need to reach a point where you are not afraid to stand alone. That's how I see it. I feel like if you
Right.
really want to become a person who engages the world with purpose, you must reach that point where you're not afraid to be rejected. You're not afraid to stand alone. You're not afraid to have a contrary opinion. You're not because you feel that this is what I feel, this is what I
Right.
believe. I need to be
Yeah.
able to live with myself at the end of the day. That's what I always tell
Mm-hmm.
myself, that I need to lay down at night and sleep with my two
And
eyes
sleep.
closed and sleep peacefully. And know that I'm not being a two-edged sword type of thing, that because, oh, let's say a top creator now has come to say something, and because this person has 1 million people following them and the whole world is jumping on the bandwagon. And when I
You
look
too.
at it, I personally don't agree. No, it's
Right.
always important. So I feel like it's important to have personal values. Very,
Mm-hmm.
very important.
Very.
One of the things I teach in my personal branding class is that I tell people, yeah, I think it's just like the video I made today. I say, what personal branding does for you is who you become in the process. You are the brand. It's not about just the perception you are trying to create in the mind of the people. But when you've put all of this down, when you've shut down the video, when you've shut down the phone, who are you as a person? That should
Right.
be like where your focus should be. Are you working to become a more consistent person? Someone who is a person of your word, someone who knows how to manage your time, someone who is very productive. These are all ingredients that makes you that person that other people want to engage with. Not just
Right.
trying to create a persona that is opposite. You just come and
To
give
who
your
you really are.
advice, and then you're doing the opposite. So that's, for me, that's how I engage with the world. So I engage with the world from my values, from who I am as a person, so that I can be comfortable with myself. I can
Right.
comfortably tell you, oh, I don't know, or I'm learning, and things like that, without feeling any sort of embarrassment or feeling any sort of shame. Oh, that, yeah. So, but Tolu, I don't know what you think.
I think that's a beautiful one. I love the fact, first of all, that the question is even asking about um, freeing yourself from the world.
Mm.
I don't know what Michael has in mind,
Mhm.
but I do know that that's important to do, because otherwise, do you know how many people are in the world?
Plenty people.
How many opinions you'll be having to deal with if you decide to rope yourself into that space?
Mm.
That everybody's opinion matters and every poll is
Mm.
what is, so that's why I do agree with Amaka completely,
Mhm.
Dr. Amaka, that your values are what they give you clarity, they give your life shape, give it form.
Right.
Okay, this is why I accept this and this is why I don't accept that. This
Mhm.
is why I stand for this and why I don't stand for that. It gives you some kind of structure for your life. Otherwise, you are everything and everywhere doing anyhow, and at some point you're lost.
True.
So it's important that we have clarity on that. What do we stand for? Why? Who am
Mhm.
I? Who am I
Mhm.
not?
Who
These
am
are
I not?
important to understand, yes, because
True. True.
otherwise we get lost. And what that does, so in practice for me, I'm not going to lie, it's not easy. It sounds nice when we're saying it,
It's
right?
not easy.
Because
No.
wouldn't it be nice to just define yourself and, okay, I'm very clear. What is that? You said, no, 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 I'm not interested. What about that? No, no. Oh, yeah, yes, this one. It's not as straightforward as that. Sometimes you'll find yourself making a choice because of
That
one
is tough.
that you may even make the wrong choice.
Mhm.
And it's somewhere down the line you now realize, wait, this thing doesn't align with my values. Why did I do this? Maybe I did this because I was trying to impress this person, or
Mhm.
because I didn't want to offend that person, or because, so you now have to retrace your steps and now figure out, how do I get back to where I know I'm supposed to be? And
Mhm.
usually your heart will tell you, you will know, I'm not in the right space. No, no, no,
Right.
this thing is not
Yeah.
correct. So we
Mm.
need to listen when we get that feedback.
Yeah. I think that's where intuition comes in.
Yeah.
That God-given, this
Go.
doesn't feel right. There's always that thing that
Yes.
will tell you, yeah. And if I'm going to just share a quick story, I remember something like that happened to me. It's been a while now, and that was when I started kind of, picking up on LinkedIn, and everybody wants to invite you to come and do a podcast or come and do this and things like that. I think I've shared that story quite some few months back, so this has been a while. So I remember someone invited me to do a podcast. I think it was somewhere, maybe in India, or where was that podcast? And we did a podcast actually on personal branding, public speaking, personal development. So that was like kind of the topic that we covered, and it was a very wonderful podcast. I had a great time, back and forth questions, and everything was recorded. And then he was supposed to let me see it when he was done, and so
Right.
when he did and he posted it, the moment I looked at it from the banner, like the thumbnail, it said top public speaker in the USA. I've been number one public speaker in the USA.
Oh my goodness.
In my mind. And then he now went into my profile without my permission. he picked on some pictures he felt I took with important people, because that's the way I narrated it, you know, like maybe pictures I took with some white older people, some of my mentors, or maybe like that. He kind of used it as pictures in between to just kind of highlight, to do his mix. The paparazzi was too much, right?
Hey.
Was I tempted to share it? Yes, I was tempted. Did I? No. I just looked at the podcast. I kept looking at it, and what I did, I had sent it to my mentor. I was like, "Can you take a look at this?" He looked at it. He just said, top public speaker in the US." That's all he needed to say, right? So
Wow.
you don't want to claim who you are not because
Right.
it feels good. You just want to get that glory. You want? Do I want to be a top public speaker in the USA one day? Yes. Was I at that point then? No.
No.
It's very important that we recognize where we are on our journey and
Right.
just be ourselves as much as, even though it can be very hard, especially when
Right.
you see people who don't even do half of the things you do, claiming to be all of
That
that.
they are
There,
more
that
than you
temptation
are.
comes
Yeah.
in. That
Yeah.
temptation. So it's not always easy, just as Tolu said. So that's why I brought in this story, because sometimes it's easy to say until you are faced with that temptation face to
Right.
face, right?
Right.
And then something else that again happened to me recently was that someone reached out to me to say, "Oh, can you help me promote this?" And because when I looked at the thing he was promoting, mm-mm, mm-mm, it's something that is very possible that people's money can get stuck. Is all this put 1 million and get 1.2 million in so time. Put this and get this. Was he ready? He was ready to pay me. But was I willing to now throw in what I was building for something I didn't know? Just because, in fact, he even went and took a screenshot of another top creator that had promoted it for him to show me. You know, so he was showing me, came and he showed me. He showed me to
Right.
say, okay, yeah, this is where another creator promoted it for him. This is something he's doing, so people can put in 1 million and they will get 1.2 million in however long. And I looked at it. Do I need money? Of course, everybody needs money. At every time, you need money, right? But looking at it, I realized that if something goes wrong with this, how can I defend it? I
Right.
don't know this person enough to know that this is real, that when people put in their money, it doesn't get stuck. So by the time it is Dr. Amaka that is saying it, somebody is now
Everybody
believing
just,
me.
yeah.
Do you understand? Somebody is taking my word for it because, okay, you've built that reputation, you've built that credibility that people feel like you wouldn't just say anything. But how many creators, how many even influencers, the bigger ones, have been in a mess because of things like this? It
Right.
goes back to values, whereby most of the time we just want to chase and get.
Right.
It's not always easy, and sometimes along the way we make mistakes, and that's okay. It's important that when you make mistakes, retrace your step. So sometimes that intuition, that
Yeah.
God-given, this thing does not feel right, or even though it's tempting, but it doesn't feel right. It's
Right.
better you go with it. Yeah, it's really
Right.
better. Yeah. So let's see how
Absolutely.
long we've done life.
You know, that's life for you. Oh my God.
Well, that's really good. I'm very surprised that we have 14 people here. That's
Honestly.
Dr. Benedict, right? Holistic medic. Is that Dr. That's Dr. Benedict, I think. I recognize the name of the thing. Thank you all for staying
Okay.
here with us and hanging out with us. Oh. Let me tell you a story. Today is our first live, and I went to tell Tolu, I said, Tolu, I want to go live on YouTube. Will you come?
So
I said,
I say I'll come.
maybe people may not show up. Oh, in all honesty, I was being honest with I said, but let's go and try it. So it's
Let's
really
try and see
exciting
how
to
far.
see that we've had
Yeah.
people all through, people commenting, people like it's making me enjoy the whole YouTube
I'm
careless
loving
life.
it
So
actually.
we can be coming to careless, do some careless life along the way. Yeah.
Careless life.
No,
Oh my
truly.
God.
And how long it took us to actually get it right. Because I think this was the fifth
Right.
one I was creating. The first one crashed, second one crashed, third one. Michael got tired of us. Michael, thank you for still being here.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah,
Honestly,
so
you
please, do
guys
you
are
still have any
amazing.
other question? We should be wrapping up. Oh, in fact, we've gone way, way beyond what we were
We've
planning.
gone way
But
beyond.
I feel, yes, I feel really good. Tolu, thank you so much. I know you had an event earlier. Anyway, Sha, you talking is your life now.
I went.
So
That one is another. It's just for another day, but it was amazing. It was this remote village. I was on
wow,
the road for over an hour from the main road into the place.
wow,
Rocky terrain like this. It
mhm,
was an adventure. But it was
wow.
really lovely, really lovely. And we had food and clothes and stuff for them. They
Nice.
were so
That's
happy. It
good.
was a very fulfilling experience.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really really good. Yeah. So Nikita is. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Oh, and let's
And to my no,
and to Tolu Ekwe is Tolu Ekwe,
yes,
right?
so
That's your channel.
yes, so
So this one we don't
speak
use to write
life,
our name.
speak life with Tolu Ekwe. Speak life with
To
Tolu.
speak live to you. I wish there was a way to even write your name on the screen now, the way we used to do on
I don't even know. They
StreamYard.
may be seeing it though, because I don't know how it works. What we are seeing is
Yeah,
not what they are.
Michael, do you see our names? Tell us. So we are learners. No, I'm a learner. Do you actually see the name of the people so that you can? Okay, Nikita
So
says
that you
she's
can
seeing
just
it.
subscribe.
Yeah,
Oh,
please
really?
subscribe
There we
to.
go. You see?
Oh, that's
You
nice.
see?
Subscribe to our channel. I'm a new YouTuber personally. I know Tolu. Yeah, Tolu too is still in that.
I'm relatively new. I'm soon.
She's still new, yes. We are all new and we are trying to build our community here. Oh, Michael
Yeah.
says no name. We're trying to build our community. This is the first time I'm coming live. I'm hoping to come more. I'll try to see if I can come on live more time to just to
Yeah.
get to know the YouTube community, right? To get to know the people that hang around here and just talk about it. The topics you would hear me talk about would be personal branding, personal development, US grad school, and then Tolu is everything public speaking. She's in public speaking, really, really good public speaking coach. In case that is a skill you're trying to build, then you want to connect, you want to reach out. We are kind of migrating from LinkedIn, right? So we are we are more conversant with the LinkedIn space and the whole LinkedIn life, but I always love to explore. I always feel like it's always good to be open to learning new things.
Yes.
Diversify yourself and all of those. So I'm excited that we still have 11 people. These people love us, so okay.
Imagine.
13 people.
Hey, 13.
Wow.
Hey.
Let me see how to
Can you
have
imagine if that first link had worked?
seriously, actually, right?
Hey.
But now I figured it out. So
Yes.
hopefully another
Yes.
time,
So
yes,
it's gonna
we
be
can
better.
just we'll
Mhm.
see. I would just get used to
Yeah.
the idea of just coming live to chat. I feel like it's a good way to
Yeah. Building
connect with
communities.
people and just kind of understand the YouTube streets a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, any more questions? Oh, I don't want to keep. I know Tolu is tired. In fact, we've gone longer than we planned, but it's very. The only reason it's
But
exciting is because you all are here. Because if we were talking to ourselves by now,
right.
everybody would have gone to sleep. It's the fact that everybody is here. So if you have any questions, if not, we'll probably be wrapping up. Tolu, should we wrap up in like 8 minutes? Eight so that it will be
Okay.
so okay.
So it should
So
be
we'll
exactly okay.
we'll end the live in exactly 8 minutes ish, like 7 minutes, right? Ma Ibiranke, I'm so excited you are here. Thank you. See, people that have people, when you say I'm feeling myself. There's sometimes you just feel like I have people in my life. I have
Yes,
people that will
so
come and support anything I'm doing. They'll come and
yes,
tell me,
so
we are here for you. Just keep going. Thank you very much. So make sure you
for
are
me.
subscribing. We are posting our videos. Watch our videos. Tolu, let me give you the mic, I beg you. If you don't know me and talk.
Eh, no, wait till we won't talk again. Okay, sorry. I mean, what do we want to say again? Please, public speaker does
Please
not speak pidgin
correct
English.
English.
Today, hmm, today in that outreach, I spoke
Mhm.
pidgin English. I spoke Hausa that I haven't spoken for how long, and I spoke English. I was like, yes,
Nice. Michael is asking
I'm,
if this is recorded. Lives are typically recorded, right?
yes, no,
So
they are recorded.
yeah, so you should be. I think it is. That's a beautiful. I think that's it's even
Yeah,
now I started enjoying LinkedIn Live because before when you do audio, that's it. You do all the beautiful things you do, like when we're doing
and
LinkedIn
it's
audio
true.
events now.
It's true.
Do you
Once
have
it's
any
done, it's
history?
done.
Do you know all your
No
talk?
replay, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, but the good thing with the lives now is that you can come back. Oh, you see, Nikita is
And what
asking a
to say?
question, and that's an important question. I think that's for you, Tolu. Nikita is asking you a
Okay.
question. She says, "How does one get over the pre-anxiety and racing heart before speaking?" Oh yeah, we talked about that earlier, but I'll let Tolu
Yeah,
just wrap up. We
yeah.
have like 6 more minutes to go, so it's a good place to end on a
Okay.
strong note.
Thank you so much, Nikita. That's and you know what? First of all, understand that it happens to almost everybody.
It
Even the
happens to
most
everybody.
seasoned speakers usually have that anxiety, have that, maybe it can be anything from clammy fingers and breaking out into a sweat to even
Mm-hmm.
trembling and all that. how do you handle all of that? And you said racing heart, where it's basically understand that this is normal. Okay. One of the things that helps you is breathing. And I don't just mean regular breathing, deep breathing. So if you can take a minute to breathe, and let me teach this since we're here. So we teach to breathe 4, 7, 8. 4, a count of 4, breathing in. So if you take in a breath, in your mind, you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you take in that breath, then you hold it for a count of 7
Okay, let's do it.
and release it for a count of 8. So let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I will count for you and you do the breathing. Otherwise, I can't breathe and count. Right? So
Okay.
let's go. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 1, 2. Amaka, what happened?
Let's do it again. Let's do
Okay,
it again.
prepare. Let's
I'm
prepare
prepared.
before we start breathing.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
Okay,
I'm prepared. Now you're making my
are we
heart
ready?
race.
Okay, calm down. Okay, are we ready?
Ready.
Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ah, I feel so good. It's like therapy.
What kind of trust is your breathing?
I do. I did it now. I did it. I breathed. I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yeah,
So
that
you
was a
can do
very
that
good
like two,
question.
three times. It calms you down because it's
Mm-hmm.
like you're creating an atmosphere of calm to a heart that is racing. Your heart starts to believe you. Oh, okay. Okay, it's like we're calm. We're not actually afraid. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. That's and your heart will kind of just cooperate with you. So that's something you can do. One is breathing. Two
Mm-hmm.
is of course what you tell yourself. Okay. And then 3 is even your posture. If you
Mm-hmm.
stand confident, your body believes you and you start to feel more confident. If you're
Mm-hmm.
slouching, you're like, oh God, what's going to happen? Your body is going to cooperate with that too.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the things. There are many other things that we can do to deal with that. And of course, I teach that in the Confident Speaker Bootcamp, as
Right.
well as if you want one-on-one coaching, we do that as well. So
Right.
feel free
Okay.
to reach
Yeah.
out. And,
I think we should wrap up with our introduction.
right.
Just like
Yeah.
introduce yourself, let people know where they can connect with you. I noticed that most of the people here are not even people I know. Beyond some of our people, there are some other people that I'm meeting for the
That's
first time that I would like to connect more with. So just give like a final conclusion, who you are, what you do, how people can reach you, and I'll do the
right.
same, and we'll leave in 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone again for being here. So my name is Tolu Ekwe.
Mhm.
The real name is longer, and I don't want you to break your mouth. Okay. So Tolu Ekwe, and I am a public speaker and public speaking coach. Please feel free to invite me to your events to speak, as well as feel free to connect with me if you need public speaking training. Sometimes you just need to brush up your speaking. You want to
Mhm.
prepare for an event. You want to be sure that you deliver at your best and all of that. I'm available. All right. So one-on-one coaching, group coaching. If you want to join what we call the Confident Speaker Bootcamp, you can also connect with me. What your best bet would be to connect with me on LinkedIn. So
Mhm.
look for Tolu Ekwe on LinkedIn. TOLU space EKWE on LinkedIn, and we can connect there. Yeah, I think I'll stop there for now.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Tolu. Thank you. It's been very exciting. Paul, I see you. Paul is saying hi. Thank you for coming in. We are just like 1 minute out. It's been a very powerful session. So feel free to rewatch. The beautiful thing is that we have all of this, our beautiful session recorded, right? So you can rewatch it. It's been a wonderful time. It's my first
Share
time.
it.
Yeah, share it, right? It's my first time of coming live on YouTube, and I really enjoyed the session. I'm looking forward to probably doing this more often since I'm beginning to also build an audience here. I want to kind of build a community here and get to really understand the platform a little bit more. So my name is Dr. Amaka Ifeduba, for those who may not know me, and I'm the founder and lead coach of Scholar Up Mentoring Academy. And at Scholar of Mentoring Academy, we do two major things, really. The first one is coaching professionals or entrepreneurs who are trying to build their personal brand, people who are trying to be more confident about putting out their story or setting up their businesses and leveraging the online space and visibility to do that, right? So we coach you. And then the second group of people are actually graduate students who are trying to come to the United States for grad school. So that's basically what we do at Scholar of Mentoring Academy. And of course, I help people to promote whatever they are doing, right? If it's in line with my brand, I would help you promote what you're doing, promote your events. And I'm also, people also invite me to speak, right? So I'm also a public speaker, even though I'm not a public speaking coach. I don't know that I have the patience to do that, yeah, but I do speak, right? That's something that I enjoy doing. And Tolu here has been she's my friend, and I'm happy to really be doing this with her for the first time. And I think we've had a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful session. And I want to thank all of you for sticking with us, because we had to create this event 5 whole times before we eventually got it right. But I'm so grateful that we stayed patient, we were resilient, we didn't give up on it. And now we've kind of, started. It's always about starting, right? So thank you so much. I'm going to be ending the live now. Thank you for coming by. Connect with us. My name is Amaka, Amaka. Ifeduba, Ifeduba. It's the same name on YouTube, Dr. Amaka Ifeduba. So subscribe to my channel. You will see the link to my LinkedIn from my YouTube, so you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always happy and excited to see how I can support you on your personal branding journey, on how you can begin to leverage the online space, becoming more confident about really stepping out there and making use of all the opportunities that are available to you. That said, that's my final word. I'm so grateful to everyone. Thank you. Tolu, let's say bye-bye to our audience. So they really stuck with us. So hey God, they really
They
tried.
did.
Yeah, so bye
Wait first, wait
everyone.
first, wait.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There's something.
they say I should put my LinkedIn link.
Your okay, your LinkedIn URL. Okay, yeah, put it in the chat. Oh,
Say I
okay,
should
yeah.
put it in
Yes,
LinkedIn.
please. So
Have you?
put
Have you
my
put
own
your
too.
own?
No, I didn't put it for me
Yeah.
now. When you copy
Okay.
your own, copy my own. Yeah.
Copy your
Yeah,
own. Okay.
thank you. Yeah, I think that's a great way. So you can just click on it directly and it takes you. Yeah, thanks, Paul. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. But that's also, you spelled her name correctly, because that if you also search that name, I probably think she's the
You'll
only one
find
with
it.
that name on LinkedIn. Yes.
Here you
Yeah.
go.
I didn't know
I'm trying
people
to
used to
delete all
attend
those
YouTube
extra.
live like this, Otolu.
Huh?
I
You
did
didn't
not know
know?
people. I've never done it now.
Oh.
Mm.
So if we don't do, we won't know now.
You won't
That's
know,
why.
yeah, that's the truth. Then I think what had stopped me from doing it is that mindset that I would just come and be talking to myself. Like I will open and be, and nobody will be there to interact and talk. But
Yeah.
it's surprising that people drop in and out and people are engaging. I feel it's a good place to decide to spend 1 hour a week or something to just build a community and connect more. Have you done it?
So I'm trying to delete these extra things.
Just put it like that. They can still get it now.
Happy?
Yeah, just put
Okay.
it like that. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
I think I've put that. Let me get yours.
Yeah, so just put it so that you don't stress too much.
Mm,
So just click on Tolu's link and connect with her. I think she has just dropped it, and then she's going to drop my own too. So connect with
yeah.
me if you're not connected. Feel free to reach out for collaboration, for your events. One of the things I started doing now is to do events with people on LinkedIn. That's something that do really well. A couple of people are wanting me to help them to do their events and just to promote what they're doing. And once it's something that is in line with my brand, I'm always excited to promote. The only time I say no is when it's not in line. Okay, you've done it. Tolu, it's time for resting. Thank you so much,
Yes, ma'am.
everyone. Okay, see you next time. By God's grace, today is what? Today is Saturday. Maybe I will come live again. Maybe next week Sunday. I'll see. I'll definitely see. It looks like even when you do the live without inviting people, people will still come. I don't know how did
Yes,
they get
because
there.
YouTube will announce it.
Oh, that's how it works. Oh, okay. All right. So I'll come again. Yeah, I'll think
Awesome.
and then I'll come again. Bye everyone.
Bye,
Bye. Tolu, thank
everyone.
you.
Thank
Take care.
you so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.